Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhauti Naistaki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 4, text number 24 and 25. Ta eva veda durmedaihi. Ta eva veda durmeder dharayante purushaihi yataha dharayante purushair evam chakara bhagavan Vyasaha Kripanavatsalaha Tayeva Veda Durmeder Dharayante Purushairata Evam Chakara Bhagavan Vyasaha Kripanavatsalaha. Taha, that, eva, certainly, Vedaha, the book of knowledge, Durmedaihi, by the less intellectual, Dharayante, can assimilate, Purushaihi, by the man, Yata, as much as, Evam, thus, Chakara, edited, Bhagavan, the powerful, Vyasaha, the great sage Vyasa, Kripanavatsalaha, very kind to the ignorant mass. Translation and purport by Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. Thus the great sage Vyasadeva, who is very kind to the ignorant masses, edited the Vedas so they might be assimilated by less intellectual men. Please repeat the translation. Thus the great sage Vyasadeva, who is very kind to the ignorant masses, edited the Vedas so they might be assimilated by less intellectual men. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The Veda is one, and the reasons for its division in many parts are explained herewith. The seed of all knowledge, or the Vedas, is not a subject matter which can easily be understood by any ordinary man. There is a stricture that no one should try to learn the Vedas who is not a qualified Brahmana. This stricture has been wrongly interpreted in so many ways. A class of men who claim Brahmanical qualification simply by their birthright in the family of a Brahmana claim that the study of the Vedas is a monopoly of the Brahmana caste only. Another section of the people take this as an injustice to members of other castes who do not happen to take birth in a Brahmana family. But both of them are misguided. The Vedas are subjects which had to be explained even to Brahmaji by the Supreme Lord. Therefore, the subject matter is understood by persons with exceptional qualities of goodness. Persons who are in the mode of passion and ignorance are unable to understand the subject matter of the Vedas. The ultimate goal of Vedic knowledge is Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead. This personality is very rarely understood by those who are in the modes of passion and ignorance. In the Satyuga, everyone was situated in the mode of goodness. Gradually, the mode of goodness declined during the Treta and Dwapara Yugas, and the general mass of people became corrupt. In the present age, the mode of goodness is almost nil, and so for the general mass of people, the kind-hearted, powerful sage Srila Vyasadeva divided the Vedas in various ways so that they may be practically followed by less intelligent persons, the mode of passion and ignorance. It is explained in the next sloka as follows. Next sloka, I'll repeat myself. Stri Shudra Dvijabandhunam Trayina Shuti Gochara Karma Shreyasi Mudanam Shreya Evam Bhavediha iti bharatamakhyanam krupaya munina kritam. Translation. Out of compassion, the great sage thought it wise that this would enable men to achieve the ultimate goal of life. Thus, he compiled the great historical narration called the Mahabharata for women, laborers, and friends of the twice born. Purport. The friends of the twice born families are those who are born in the families of Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas, are the spiritually cultured families, but who themselves are not equal to their forefathers. Such descendants are not recognized as such for want of purificatory achievements. The purificatory achievements begin even up before the birth of a child, and the seed-giving reformatory process is called Garbhadana Samskara. One who has not undergone such Garbhadana Samskara or spiritual family planning is not accepted as being of an actual twice-born family. The Garbhadana Samskara is followed by other purificatory processes, out of which the sacred thread ceremony is one. This is performed at the time of spiritual initiation. After this particular samskara, one is rightly called twice born. One birth is calculated during the seed-giving samskara, and the second birth is calculated at the time of spiritual initiation. One who has been able to undergo such important samskaras can be called a bona fide twice born. If the father and mother do not undertake the process of spiritual family planning and simply beget children out of passion only, their children are called as Dvijabandhus. These Dvijabandhus are certainly not as intelligent as the children of the regular twice born families. The Dvijabandhus are classified with the Shudras and women class, who are by nature less intelligent. The Shudras and the women class do not have to undergo any samskara save and except the ceremony of marriage. The less intelligent class of men, namely women, Shudras, and unqualified sons of the higher caste, are devoid of necessary qualifications to understand the purpose of transcendental Vedas. For them, the Mahabharata was prepared. The purpose of the Mahabharata is to administer the purpose of the Vedas, and therefore, within this Mahabharata, the summary Veda of Bhagavad Gita is placed. The less intelligent are more interested in stories than in philosophy, and therefore the philosophy of the Vedas in the form of Bhagavad Gita is spoken by Lord Sri Krishna. Vyasadeva and Lord Krishna are both on the transcendental plane, and therefore they collaborated in doing good to the fallen souls of this age. The Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all Vedic knowledge. It is the first book of spiritual values, as the Upanishads are. The Vedanta philosophy is the subject matter for study by the spiritual graduates. Only the postgraduate spiritual student can enter into the spiritual or devotional service of the Lord. It is a great science, and the great professor is the Lord himself in the form of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And persons who are empowered by him can initiate others into the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Presents the Bhakti Vedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimiraandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaurabhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. In the last section we saw Vyasadeva had divided that one Veda into various parts. The specific reason for the division is explained in this context today. Tayeva Veda Durmeder, those who are less intelligent, Veda they cannot understand. Dharayante Purusherata. So that these people also, less intelligent people also, Dharayante, they can assimilate the essence of all the Vedic knowledge. Evam Chakara Bhagavan, who Vyasadevaha, Chakara, compiled Kripanavatsalaha, all these Vedic literatures which were till then existing in the form of hearing only, he had put into writing for the less intelligent class of people. Because he is Kripanavatsalaha, he is very kind to the ignorant mass of people. So here, birthright is not their qualification. So who can assimilate Vedas? Who can understand Vedas? Vedas and their ultimate goal, Sri Krishna, can be understood only by men with exceptional quality of goodness. So those who are in the Shuddha Sattva Guna, or those who are in the purified Sattva, only they can understand about devotion service and the Supreme Lord Krishna. People with passion and ignorance are not qualified to understand, because that quality itself will not allow them to come closer to the Lord. So for that purpose, simplification of Vedas could help people who are in the modes of ignorance and passion. So that this section of crowd or this section of public are not what do you say, neglected. Even they are given an opportunity to understand about the Lord in the form of stories. That's why Mahabharata was compiled for this specific purpose. That's why it says further, Stri Shudra Dvijabandhunam Trayina Shruti Gocharaha. Stri Shudra Dvijabandhus. All these three categories of people, Trayina Shruti Gocharaha. These Vedas, they cannot comprehend the essence of knowledge of this Vedic knowledge. That's why Karma Shreyasi Moodanam, to encourage them in their activities, which is good, beneficial, Moodanam, because they are less intelligent. Shreya evam bhavetiha, for their supreme benefit, which they can achieve in this life. Iti Bharata Makyanam, Mahabharata, a glorious epic which consists of stories. Krupaya Munina Kritam, feeling compassionate, he had compiled this Mahabharata out of his causeless mercy for the people who could not understand Shruti na Gocharaha. They cannot perceive this Vedic knowledge. So in the purport, Prabhupada explains again the importance of samskaras in life. Janmana jayate shudra samskarat bhave dvijaha. This is the Shastric injunction. Janmana jayate shudraha. Everyone by default, when we take birth, we are all in the category of shudras only. That samskarat bhave dvijaha. But by reformation, one comes to the platform of Brahmanical qualification. Samskara. Transformation. Reformations. So the first samskara, there are Dashavida samskara. There are actually 16 samskaras. Of that, 10 are very important. The first one to start with is known as Garbhadana Samskara. The first time, the seed giving ceremony, the father is placing the seed in the mother. For that also, there are prescribed processes. Prabhupada has introduced the system even in ISKCON. If somebody wants to engage with his wife, he has to chant 50 rounds of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra that day. So that the consciousness, when the father is trying to impregnate, that kind of consciousness, children are invited into that womb. It is said that the mother and father's combination, when their combination is happening, their consciousness is very passionate. That kind of children will come. If it is tamasic, that kind of children will come. If it is devotional, that kind of children will come. So that's why samskaras are very important. Starts with Garbhadana Samskara. Even if a cultured family, if by chance they do not engage in Garbhadana Samskara, even they becomes ostracized from the society. They are not qualified as cultured families anymore. They are treated as Shudras. So that is the importance is given. It is a stricture which one has to follow. So that the future generations are worthy generations. Or else we will also get. But they are all not the worthy descendants, they are all Varna Shankara category, who simply create a nuisance in the society. They cannot give any opportunity for their forefathers for liberation, and they create hellish situation for the people in general also. That's why the stricture is very much adherently to be implemented. So Shudras and women do not undergo any samskaras except marriage ceremony. See, here we understand woman as not a particular class. When you are engaged in devotion service, the samskaras are secondary. But women, they will not be given any, some basic things are taught, like chastity, truthfulness, service to the husband, service to the elders in the family, giving education to their children. In that way, they see that the system is followed in the house. So we are not derogating somebody as not qualified. So they have been given certain other responsibilities so that, see, because children, they imitate, they understand through their parents. We learn by seeing our parents. So that culture and transformation happens, reformation happens in us when our parents are giving us proper direction. So that's why earlier it used to be a joint families, combined families. The children are taken care by grandparents because mother and father will be busy to manage the house and financial and other systems. The grandparents used to teach children, grandchildren. They teach stories, bedtime stories, or they teach the culture, value, etiquette, why it has to be done, why it should not be done. In that way, the children inculcate these values. They develop their character. The whole idea is education plus character. Vidya, Vinaya, both are required. Now, currently what happened in our modern day education, we are only taught about education if you go to school or college. The practical aspects of it are not taught to us. Character development is not happening. Character assassination is happening in the schools and colleges. So that's why children who come out will not be of proper consciousness. They cannot manage themselves. So this indicates the compassionate mood of Vyasadeva. So Vyasadeva and Lord Krishna has collaborated on a transcendental plane by offering philosophy packed in stories for less intelligent class of men. So now we should understand, are we all in the highest plane, or even we are considered under the less intelligent? Because whenever there is philosophy, all of us will go to sleep. Whenever there is a story only, we all wake up. Oh, story, very nice, very attentive. So, understanding the purpose only, Vyasadeva had put forward all these systematic ways in the form of stories. And Mahabharata is a story with so many intricate details. Everything perspectively is brought out. Like one small example. It says about Bhishma Deva. All of you know Bhishma Deva was lying on the bed of arrows, Ampashayana. For how many days he was lying, you know? 56 days he was lying on the bed of arrows. On the 10th day of Mahabharata war, he was shot. From there he was waiting for Uttarayana. It is known as Bhishma Ekadasi, on which he passed away. That is, after Sankranti, another 1 or 2 Ekadasis is almost. So almost 56 days he was lying on the bed of arrows. So in Mahabharata, this one particular aspect is explained. It says, when Bhishma Deva was in the last days, Lord Krishna came and met him. Bhagavatam also says, Lord Krishna came, all the Pandavas came. Dharmaraja had asked various questions from Bhishma Deva. At one particular point, Bhishma Deva was asking Lord Krishna, why am I suffering for this situation? Lord Krishna explained, 19 lifetimes before, you were a Kshatriya, a very good personality. One day while you are walking on the road, you saw a snake. So feeling compassionate for that snake, you took up one arrow and threw it aside. And you went away. But accidentally, when you threw it aside, it fell on a bunch of thorny bushes. And because it was trying to come out, the thorns were piercing its body from all directions. It could not come out, with all its relatives seeing that snake died out of that agony. So since you are the cause for that snake to suffer and die, that punishment has come back to you. Then Bhishma asked, why for 19 lifetimes I had to wait? I could have got it that life or in the next life, subsequent life itself. So Krishna explains, you are my devotee for last 19 lifetimes. Even in this lifetime, you are my devotee. But this time, you have accepted on one condition that you supported Duryodhana. You supported the evil party. You know they are all bad people. You know they have usurped the kingdom of Pandavas. You should have standed to the Dharma. That yes, you have given a commitment after 12 years of 13 years of this exile, their kingdom has to be given back. You did not speak one word. When Draupadi is being disrobed, you were very silent. Maunam ardangikaram. Your silence means you are encouraging these people are doing wrong and I am appreciating what they are doing. So because you have taken the wrong side, karma came back and hit you. See, for pure devotees, there is nothing like karma. This is for us to learn how karma can impact a person. How it is going to capture us and bind us in this material world and make us suffer in this material world for our actions. By Shri Radha Govinda ki. So these are these intricate details by which Mahabharata wants to teach us. That we are all very bound up in this material world. Every story will have a back connection. What activity they did, why are they suffering now? What activity they did, why are they enjoying now? Like there is one aspect called Maha Prasthanaika Parva in Mahabharata. Means like Pandavas, they keep walking till they die. When you go to Badrika Ashrama, from there 70 kilometers, there is a place called Svargaroha. You have to go trekking. From where it is said Pandavas have gone back to heaven. The story signifies all the Pandavas were walking along with Draupadi. The first one to fall down was Draupadi. Then the other four brothers will ask Yudhishthir Maharaj, why Draupadi has fallen? Yudhishthir Maharaj says, the Draupadi, she was wife of all five Pandavas. She was supposed to see all the five Pandavas in an equal way. But she has special affection for Arjuna. She discriminated Arjuna and others. That's why she fell down, he says. Then Sahadeva falls down. Then the other three will ask Yudhishthira, why Sahadeva has fallen? Sahadeva is the most intelligent of all the five brothers. So he was little proud of his intelligence. That's why he fell down. Then further, Nakula falls down. Then other two will ask, why Nakula fell down? So Nakula is the most handsome of all the other five brothers. So he was little proud. Then Arjuna fell down. When Arjuna fell down, they asked why Arjuna fell down. Bhima will ask. Arjuna, sometimes he was over-conscious, over-boosting of himself. Like when Jayadratha's case, he over-boosted, by tomorrow evening I will kill. If you read Krishna book in the 90th chapter, there is one story of Brahmana's son being stolen by Mahavishnu. At that time he commented on Krishna that he is not capable of protecting the children. So in a couple of incidents, Arjuna boasted himself more, for which he fell down. Then Bhima, while falling down, last, he will ask Yudhishthira, why am I falling down? Yudhishthira says, when there is food for 5 people, you alone eat, not considering other 4 are getting food or not. This is first reason. Second reason, you are also too proud of your physical strength. So you also overboosted sometimes. So unless Krishna helped, he could not have killed Jarasandha. Unless Krishna helped, he could not have killed Duryodhana. So everywhere you are too boastful. But there is certain aspects, because that is the mercy of the Lord, because they are all pure devotees. They are acting for the mission of the Lord. Okay, but this is a lesson to teach. We may have all good qualities, but again, we should not be proud of these good qualities. Pride precedes fall down. So with all these people, there was one dog which is also accompanying Yudhishthir Maharaj. So at last it was only the dog and Yudhishthir Maharaj who were there. From Swarga, Indra will come with his chariot and he will ask Yudhishthira to come onto the chariot. Yudhishthira says, I will not come along, I will come along with this dog only. Because I am a Kshatriya and this dog has taken my shelter, I cannot abandon it till the last moment. But Indra says, dogs are not allowed in Swarga. Yudhishthira says, if dog is not allowed, I will also not come. So seeing his sincerity, the dog will display that it was Yamadharmaraja who is his own father. Till the last moment of his life, Yudhishthira Maharaj was struck to the principles of a Kshatriya as a devotee, as a devotional service. So in that way, everything is taught to us. So if you are going to Badrika Ashrama, there is a place called as Pandukeshwar. It is where Pandu Maharaj did tapasya. You know what is the significance of these 5 brothers? Are they simply randomly called, or there is a systematic way all these 5 brothers were planned by Pandu Maharaj? It said, when Pandu Maharaj was cursed that he cannot associate with his wife. If he associates, he will die. So Pandu Maharaj requested Kunti Maharani, because she has a boon from Durvasmani that she could call any demigod. So because Pandu Maharaj was a king, his son is going to be the emperor of the world. He wanted a person who can represent the quality of dharma. A king should be a righteous person. He should be a devotee. And who is the best person for follower of dharma is Yamadharmaraj. That's why Yamadharmaraj was called first person. If you are just a good man with a strong religion, is it sufficient? You require somebody of bodily strength. To defend the king, you require somebody of very strong person. And who is the strong person? Vayu is the strong person. That's why Vayu is called as Bhima. The just physical strength is sufficient. You want intellectual strength. That intellectual strength which comes from arrows, Ayudha. And who is the best Ayudha person? Indra is the best because he is the commander. He is the Raja of all the demigods. So Indra was called so that Arjuna comes. Dharma with physical strength and intellectual strength. Then what is the property of the king? The property of the king is horses and cows. Horses of your main category and cows of your source of revenue. And you require two people to take care of these both subjects, both elements. That way Nakula Sahadeva were called. In that way, all the five brothers make the complete aspect of who is supposed to be an emperor. See, there is a technical division. Now, simply we think, oh, they have been randomly called and five people came. When you are trying to build a personality, what are the intricate aspects what that personality should have? Everything are taught in these Vedic literatures. So this is the compassion of Vyasadeva for us to teach by these various personalities how a person should inculcate that qualities and grow in his personality. So in Vishnu Puran, there is a shloka which explains. Then people may say this Mahabharata, what is this level of this Mahabharata? It is not like Vedas. It is something inferior. Vishnu Purana says, Bharata Vyapadeshena Hyamnyaya Ardha Pradarshitaha Veda Pratishtata Sarve Purane Natra Samshayaha. Bharata Vyapadeshena, on the pretext of writing Mahabharata, Hyanyaya Yartaha Pradarshitaha. The Vyasa had explained the purpose or the meaning of the Vedas in Mahabharata. Veda Pratishtata Sarve Purane Natra Samshayaha. Certainly, all the topics of Vedas have been established in the Puranas. So that's why each subject is meant for different categories of people. If you are too intellectual, Vedanta Sutra is for you. If you are too Brahmanical, Upanishads are for you. If you are not that philosophically inclined, then Puranas are for you. If you are a person who are very much interested in stories, Mahabharata, Ramayana is for you. And if you are a person too much interested in devotional service, Bhagavatam is there for you. In that way, he satisfied all categories of people in this society. So that everybody is not deprived of the devotional service, which is the essence of our life of human form. So one more place in Bhagavatam it says, Munir Vivakshur Bhagavat Gunanam Sakapite Bharatam Aha Krishnaha Yasmin Runam Gramya Sukanu Vader Matir Grihita Nu Hare Katayam. So here Vidura is addressing Maitreya, who was a close friend of Vyasadeva, by saying, Sakapite Munir Krishnaha. Munihi, Vyasadeva, Krishna Davaipayana Vyasa, is Sakapite, is your dear friend. Vivakshur Aha, and it is also has been described, Bhagavat Gunanam, the transcendental qualities of the Supreme Lord, Bharatam, in his great work, Srimad Mahabharatam, he has described the transcendental qualities of the Lord. Grihitunaha, by this whole idea is to draw Yasmin Runam, of the people, Matihi, their attention towards Hare Katayam, towards the pastimes of the Lord, like Bhagavad Gita, because Gramya Sukanu Vader, they are very much interested in hearing about people and their stories. When two people are discussing about third person, we will all come and put our ear. Oh, some nice story is happening. Some Gunagana is happening. Gunagana is happening. But it is often in a negative way. So we are very much inquisitive. When somebody is talking, we'll go and poke our ear everywhere. Because we have the tendency to hear this Gramya Katha in the form of stories, Vyasadeva had compiled Srimad Bhagavatam so that our mind becomes attracted towards Harikatha instead of Gramya Katha. And further it says, what is his compassion? What was the compassion of Vyasadeva? Ekanta labam vachasonu pumsam shushloka mauler gunavada mahuhu shrutesha vidvadbhir upakrutayam kata sudayam upasamprayogam. So, ekanta labam, what is that highest perfectional gain of vachasaha in the form of discussions, lectures, of Nupumsam Shushleka Mauler Kata Sudayam, the activities and glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When somebody gives discourses on these subjects, Gunavada Mahuhu, when such gunas are being explained, qualities of the Lord are being explained, Upakrutayam, which are so nicely been put into writing, Vidvadbir, by whom? By the great expertly learned devotees. Then Shrutesha Upasamprayogam, the actual purpose of Shruti, of hearing about the pastimes of the Lord, is being served by hearing that glorified descriptions. The compassion of Vyasadeva is putting all the Vedic literatures into writing. Because in other yugas, there was no need of writing. There were no books. Everything was known as Shruti. By hearing once, a disciple could remember that subject for his entire lifetime. Now, even with books, even if you read 10 times, 100 times, we forget. Because we stopped utilizing our intelligence. It is said that we have two sides of the brain, left side and right side. And we use, scientists have discovered that we use only 5% of one side of the brain. And if we can use 5%, he is the most intelligent man. Means 195% is still left over. If 5% is most intelligent, then if you use other 195%, what will be his capacity? He will be the most intelligent man. In the other yogas, people were able to use more than 100%. That's why they don't require books. So this is the compassion of Vyasadeva for the people in general. By compiling into books all the Vedic literatures, he is giving us an opportunity to learn, to understand, to practice. Then in Bhagavatam we will see further, Prahlad Maharaj, a great devotee of the Lord. What is his compassion? In his prayers to Narasimha Deva, he says, Naivo dvije paraduratya vaitaranya tadvirya ghayana mahamruta magna chittaha soche tato vimuka chetasa indriyarda maya sukaya baram udvahato vimudan. He says, Oh my dear Lord, O best of the great personalities, para, Nayeva udvije duratya vaitaranya. I am not afraid of this dangerous ocean of this material existence. Because Tadvirya Gaina Mahamruta Magna Chittaha. Wherever I am very much happy by glorifying your qualities and aspects. By remembering you, wherever I am happy in this material world. But why are you distressed? Soche tato vimukha chetasaha indriyartha. I am concerned for the people who are very much engrossed for sense gratification. And how? Udvataha indriyartha maya sukaya baram. They are making plans how to make this material world a place of happiness and enjoyment. They are increasing their opportunity to enjoy sense gratification in this world. I am simply concerned with love for them. Because they are endeavoring towards Maya Sukha. They are not the original Sukha. This is Maya Sukha. Further he says, Prayena deva munaya swamumukti kama maunam charanti vijane na parardha nishta naitan vihaya kurpanan swamimuksha eko nanyam tvadasya sharanam brahmato nupasya. He says, Prayena munayaha. I see many saintly persons, O Deva, O my dear Lord, Svavimukti kamaha, they are very much interested in their personal elevation. They go to a forest, sit isolated, and they want to improve themselves. Mauna vrataha, by accepting vows, not caring for big towns and cities. Maunam charanti vijane, they keep traveling. They go to the forest. Na parardhanista, they are not interested in delivering people in general. But na vimuksha ekaha, I alone do not want to become liberated. Because etan vihaya kripanan, all these unfortunate people are loitering in the streets here. I am concerned for these fools and rascals who are loitering here in this material world. Anupashye, without Krishna consciousness, na anyam tvadasya sharanam, without accepting shelter of your lotus feet, brahmataha, they cannot be happy and they will be roaming around within these 14 planetary systems. Thus, my only wish is to bring them to your lotus feet. So this is the compassion. The compassion of great devotees. Because we are all not interested in Krishna consciousness, they want to imbibe that principle of Krishna consciousness within us. So once Vyasadeva, he met Janmejaya, who was son of Parikshit Maharaj. And he explained to him, however great a person might be in this material world, he cannot escape his predestined karma. There is something which is already determined. You cannot escape that. So Janmejaya asked Vyasadeva to elaborate what was his statement. So Vyasa said, fate and destiny are something which cannot be altered. Whatever is destined, it will supposed to happen, irrespective of whether he is a powerful king or a great personality. They cannot avoid karma. So Vyasa informed Janmejaya that he would be committing a Brahma Hatya dosha by killing 18 Brahmanas. Janmejaya was shocked. Or why? I will unnecessarily kill Brahmanas. Brahmanas are not to be killed. Shastras have glorified and none of our family members have killed. Why do I kill? It may not be true. So Vyasa informed that by evening today there will be one trader who will be coming to your place by name Kshema Damaka, who would bring the best horses from Sindh area for sale. And one of that horses will attract your attention. By climbing that horse, you will go to forest. You will see one beautiful damsel there. You become attracted to her and become very much fascinated by her. And under her praloba, you will kill 18 Brahmanas. Then Janmejaya said, please take care. So Vyasadeva informed what is going to happen and went away. So Janmejaya went back to his bedroom and he was thinking, the prediction may not happen. So in the evening, as expected, as predicted by Vyasadeva, this Kshema Damaka, he brought very well bred, thoroughbred horses, which are of very good quality. When they were brought to the market, people were very much talking. They are saying, these are all not our category. We cannot afford that. Only a king can afford that category of these horses. So everybody were walking towards the king's palace. Seeing the commotion, hearing that commotion, Janmejaya came out of his balcony to know what is happening there. So when he saw these beautiful horses, one particular horse captured his attention. So he came there, he purchased that horse, and he said, even though I purchased this horse, I am not going to climb it. I am not going to go to the forest. But before purchasing, you wanted to trial run. So what to do? He sat on the horse, and as soon as he sat on the horse became crazy and it started running away. It started going away to the forest and to somewhere into the deep forest. And when he went to the deep forest, suddenly he saw one beautiful woman walking here and there. He became very much infatuated by her. Love at first sight. Natural feelings. What a common man goes through, he also went through. He got down from the horse, he went to her, he glorified her beauty and he said, who are you? Why are you roaming here? Why can't you marry me? Why can't you become my queen and come with me back to my palace? She said, I am a forest woman and I have 18 husbands here. They are all Brahmanas. If you can kill these 18 Brahmanas, I can come with you. I'll accompany to you to be your wife and come to your kingdom. So in that infatuated mode, he didn't know what he is doing. With his sword, he went and killed all that 18 Brahmanas. As soon as he killed all the 18 Brahmanas, this lady also vanished. Then he understood, karma cannot be avoided as predicted by Vyasadeva. So thinking himself has done a great sinful activity, so he left his kingdom, went to Badrikashrama, again took association of Vyasadeva there. So by staying in that area, by taking bath in that waters of pure Ganges, Alaknanda and other ponds and all, he became purified with consciousness, and by hearing Mahabharatam from Vyasadeva and many other glories of Badrikashrama of the Supreme Lord, who stays as Badri Narayana there, he became cleansed of all the sinful activities. The whole perspective is Mahabharata was recited to Janmejaya first time. So in that way, by hearing the stories about the devotional aspects of the Supreme Lord, a person's consciousness can be improved, purified and brought to the standard of devotional perspective. So this was the whole intention of Vyasadeva compiling Mahabharata for the general mass of people who are interested only in hearing stories. So in that way, the stories of the Supreme Lord can be heard, and people can increase their attention towards the Supreme Lord and go back home, back to Godhead. So I'll stop here. Any questions or doubts? ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, जगत गुरु शिला प्रभुपाद की, हिताय गौर प्रेमानंद.
హరే కృష్ణ గోల్డెన్ టెంపుల్ వారి మరో అపురూప కానుక హరే కృష్ణ వాణి ఆధ్యాత్మిక మాసపత్రిక. ఇప్పుడు మొబైల్ యాప్ ద్వారా కూడా సులభంగా పత్రికలు చదువుకునే సౌకర్యం, వార్షిక సభ్యత్వం, భగవద్గీత, భాగవత ప్రవచనాలు, స్ఫూర్తి సందేశాలు, ఇంకా మరెన్నో సదుపాయాలతో హరే కృష్ణవాణి మొబైల్ యాప్ నేడే డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోండి. మరిన్ని వివరాల కోసం కాల్